on, guys? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and I'm back with another D&D 5th Edition Unearthed Arcana review. This time we're talking about Centaurs and Minotaurs. I don't really know who's asking for this, but this isn't the first time we've seen Minotaurs. Back in 2015 under the Waterborne Unearthed Arcana, where we saw some other stuff. We saw Minotaurs of Kryn, which were vastly overpowered. The only downside was they did not get a second ability score increase. But if we take a look, here it is. So that means, one, if you're thinking that these are going to be included in Xanathar's Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, that is incorrect, as this is playtest material, so therefore it is not available in any upcoming book. So we'll see what we get. So I've opened it here. Centaurs and Minotaurs. Centaurs, nature's cavalry, in case you didn't know. So what do we get for choosing to make our character a centaur? +2 to our strength, +1 to our wisdom. Okay, not bad. Have a lot of options as far as that goes. Age about the same rate as humans. They are medium size still, even though they are the same size as a horse. They're still considered medium size. Base walking speed of 40 feet. If you move at least 20 feet straight towards a target and then hit them with a weapon attack on the same turn, roll the weapon's damage dice twice and add them together. So effectively, this is a given critical hit, if you want to think about it that way. However, were you to move towards them and then critically hit, you would do 4 times the amount of damage. Right? Roll the damage dice twice, yeah. And then those double damage dice would then be doubled again. But this is only once per short or long rest. You do get hoof attacks, rather. It is strength based, d6 plus your strength modifier, bludgeoning damage, which is not bad. And then you have your equine build. You count as 1 size larger for carrying capacity. It does say, so this is a new mechanic. Now, if you look at the way things work as far as difficult terrain is concerned, and perhaps I'll do a separate video on it, it says it takes 4 extra feet of movement. So difficult terrain is double. So if it would say, if it takes 1 foot of movement, it would take you 2 feet of movement. So this is like ultra difficult terrain in that you're at a quarter. It's 4 times the amount of movement to move 1 foot if you're trying to go up something that requires hands and feet. So they're trying to not eliminate that completely, but let's be honest. How many centaurs do you know could climb a ladder? Like, it just doesn't physically work. They're trying to make it so that they're not completely boxed out, which I get, and they kind of do some stuff to rectify that later on as well. Finally, a medium-sized creature can ride on your equine back if you would allow it, and they specifically state here, you continue to act independently, you do not act as a controlled mount. You have proficiency in the survival skill, and you have 2 types, both humanoid and monstrosity, meaning that you can be affected by things that affect humanoids as well as things that affect monstrosities. So normally a hold person would not work on a monstrosity character, as they are only a monstrosity, not a humanoid. But hold person would work on a centaur in this instance. And you can speak, read, and write Common and Sylvan. Let's do Minotaur, and then we'll get you my feedback on them. So, your strength increases by 2, your con increases by 1. Very good for your physically oriented characters. You are still medium size. Base speed of 30 feet. You have horns that are natural melee weapons, similar to the hooves of the centaurs. You do 1d6 plus strength modifier damage with them, using piercing damage rather than bludgeoning. You get Goring Rush, so immediately after you use your dash action on your turn. So if you use your action, or use the dash action, so if you have means, like if say you're a Minotaur Rogue, you could dash as a bonus action, but you have to move at least your speed, so the entire, at least 30 feet. You can then make 1 melee attack as a bonus action. And then you also have Hammering Horns. Immediately after you hit with a melee attack as part of the attack action on your turn, you can attempt to shove that creature with your horns, but it does use your reaction. The creature must be no more than 1 size larger than you and must be within 5 feet of you. You both... and then it must, rather than oppose strength checks, it makes a strength saving throw against a DC of 8 plus your strength bonus and your proficiency bonus, rather. If it fails, it's pushed up to 5 feet away from you. You can't shove them down to the ground like you normally could with a shove maneuver. You can only shove them back. You are also proficient in the Intimidation Skill, and similar to the Centaur, you also have 2 natures here, humanoid and monstrosity, so you are affected by both. And you can speak, read, and write Common and Minotaur. I did not know Minotaurs had their own language. And it does even have a little note here. In 2015, Minotaurs appeared as a playtest in Unearthed Arcana. These are suitable for Minotaurs on Kryn and in other D&D worlds where they are not affected by the demonic influence of Baphomet, as what typical Minotaurs are in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. What do you guys think about these? Again, I don't really feel there was a clamoring, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but I don't feel there was a clamoring want for Minotaur and Centaur playable races. But here they are. I mean, they're decent, right? I mean, they both give you a skill proficiency. They both give you +2 to strength, and one's wisdom and con, so that's very useful for your physically oriented fighter types, barbarians, perhaps even your paladins. I think a Minotaur Paladin is kind of funny to me. You do get an unarmed strike ability, which is fairly sizable, and a d6 plus your strength. And then you both have cool stuff. Right, like you get equine build lets you, you get powerful build bonus, and you also can let people ride on you. You get your charge ability, which is nice, although it is only once per short or long rest. But if you're a Minotaur, you get Goring Rush, which you can use potentially every turn, and Hammering Horns, which you can use every turn. I like that stuff. It adds extra options to the character to let you do other things. But you do have the downfall of your dual nature. I don't know. I kind of like them. I don't know if I'll ever play one. Maybe in like a one-shot, a Minotaur could be fun. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And be sure to come back next month to see what my review is of the next Dungeons & Dragons Unearthed Arcana. So until then, I'll see you guys next time.